Hello, we are excited to launch the 2025 Pro Awards. I am Angela Hubbard, the Awards Chair this year, and I wanted to walk you through the awards platform that we use. The entry season will close on September 5th, and you can find all the information you need about the awards program on the procentralva.org website, which is what I am on here. If you go under the awards tab, you can see a few items. You can see a gallery of images from last year's winners and their team partners. Same for 2023. You can learn more about our achievement awards. And at the very top here, if you click on this tab, you can get all the information you need on the Pro Remodeler of the Year awards, including entry deadlines and team partner information. This link here will take you to required forms and rules and guidelines. And this link here will actually take you to the entry portal. I'm going to click on this link here, and here you can see all the forms that you need. There is a great checklist that Marcia created, helping you better understand where to find everything, and a checklist of just what you would need to do in order to submit your awards. I will be using that in a moment. The complete rules and guidelines with some very helpful tips for things to do and not to do in your award entry, photo tips, judges criteria, everything you need to know about our awards program is in this guidelines and rules document. There's a complete category list document that will tell you each of the categories and if there is a price point for categories. So for example, here we have our residential interior, and the price point there is projects that are under 150,000 and projects that are over or 150,000 and over. This also has short codes that you would use to name your photos for your awards projects, and a complete category description. Should you need any help selecting a category for a project, I am always available to help with category selections, and I can advise you on which category your project may best fit. There are two required forms for all entries. There is a contractor homeowner affidavit and consent that the homeowner should sign or must sign in order for your entry to be eligible to participate. They are signing an affidavit confirming the project cost and project completion, and giving their permission for their home to be entered into our awards program. Of course, their identity and address would be confidential and not disclosed in our program. A photo release, and this is signed by the owner of the photographs that are being used in the project. If the contractor or the entrant is the owner of the photos, they still need to sign off on this form, giving Pro the rights to utilize their photographs. Same with the homeowner, contractor homeowner agreement. If the contractor is the homeowner, they need to sign both portions. This team partner entry form here is used for those companies or primary entrants wishing to include team partners. Those are Pro members, whether they are trade or specialty contractors or suppliers who helped provide goods or services for the renovation project. This team partner form would need to be completed. Our judging procedures and criteria are available in this form and in the rules and guidelines form document. This is just a one-pager that is an easy reference for you as you're working on your project entry. You could refer to these judging questions to ensure that you are answering those in your project presentation. I do recommend that you try to incorporate each question into your entry. Some of the smaller categories, maybe the interior, exterior element, creative solutions, the judging criteria may not always apply to those, and the judges will take that into consideration. But if the judging question does apply to your category entry, please try to include that information in your presentation clearly. Then there are two other optional forms, the Universal Design Checklist. This is only required for the projects that are entered into the Universal Design category. This will allow you to indicate what Universal Design modifications you made to a home, and the scoring of that will calculate automatically. So you will download this document, complete it, and then upload it into the portal as an Excel spreadsheet or a CSV file. This green project criteria spreadsheet here can be used for any project in any category that wishes to have a green project designation. So if you have a green project, it's kitchen, a green project bath, entire house, you complete this form and upload it if you would like your project to be considered for a green designation. So those are the required forms. I'm going to come back over to the checklist. Here you can see important links. Click here to access the entry platform, which you could also do directly from the website. Here are those two required forms, the contractor release or consent and the photo release form. The conditional forms, the team partner, universal, and green. Again, all of these helpful documents here, the category list, judging criteria, rules and guidelines, and then just a little checklist to help you. What I would recommend is always checking with your homeowner before you go any further, because you don't want to spend time preparing to enter a project if the homeowner is not willing to have their home participate in the program. So this should be a very helpful resource for you. Again, at the end of this document and on the website and in the entry portal, my contact information appears should you need any help throughout the awards entry process. So I'm going to go back over and I'm going to pretend to click this access entry form link there. And when I do, it will take me to a site on the Pro Central Virginia Awards platform. We have used the same platform last year, but it was when we were with Pro Mid-Atlantic. And so we do ask that you're very careful when you start your entry to make sure that you are on the Pro Central Virginia platform and not the old platform. Given that this is a new platform, every user this year will have to go in and you will have to put in your email and register and go through the process of registering to get login credentials to use the new awards platform. Please note that we recommend that you use a company login or email that can be used year over year. If it is specific to an employee in the company, that employee can share those login credentials with other team members who are also interested in working on the entry. However, each entry is specific to a login. So if you have multiple people in your company who are entering projects, they can enter them under one login and share that, or they can have a separate login, but they would not be able to access projects under a different login. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. So again, you start here and you register for an account. And then once you have your credentials, you can log in and begin your entry. And then let's see here. I am going to think I am logged in here. Actually, let me go back in, and I am logging in using my password that I've created, asking it to remember me so I can easily get back in when I need to. And so when you come in, you will see a screen that looks like this. If you have already started an entry, they will be located here. If not, you can click here to start your entry. I have already pre-loaded an entry so that I can do this a little more efficiently in our presentation today. But what I would encourage you to look at here again are all of the dates and deadlines. The early bird deadline is August 1st at 5 p.m. In order to take advantage of that discounted rate, you would need to make sure your project is fully complete and submitted by 5 p.m. on August 1st. This is an incentive that we give people to complete their projects early so that our staff and the team that reviews all the project entries are not having to review so many for that final deadline period. And the final deadline is September 5th at 5 p.m. Eastern. Let's see here. And then again, contact information and a few tips here for going forward. One of the tips I give here, and I will show you as I go through, you can use the copy feature, which is here. Once you have started an entry and you put all of your company information in on the first two tabs, I recommend if you have an additional entry, you use this copy feature, and I will demonstrate that in a moment. And that will allow you to copy your company information, and then you can change categories and move forward with a different entry. So I've created my test entry here. I chose a residential bath category 50 to 100, and I am borrowing a project presentation from pro member Leo Lance on a project that he submitted in the 2024 program. So I'm going to click here to re-enter the portal so I can see what I've already done. On the first tab, when you first come in, you will choose that you want the Pro Central Virginia Awards program. There is no other choice, but you will have to toggle that. Here you can again access that category list to review the entire, all the category options if you'd like. When you toggle between categories, you will see that the project description here changes. So you can again just verify that the project category that you're choosing matches your project and is the best fit for your project. I have a residential bath. I think the project cost, I'm going to say, was around $87,000. So my project falls in this residential bath 50 to 100. Again, I put in my company name, and of course, this is a test company. No one wants my my remodeling company to be doing their projects. So here I have put in my Test Hubbard Remodeling LLC. And then in the second field, I am verifying the exact spelling and punctuation of my company name. If a portion of your company name is all caps, or if there is punctuation or a legal thing that you would want printed in magazines or on your actual awards, this is where you verify. And when we get the final list of entries, if these two fields do not match exactly, we will reach out to confirm the exact spelling and punctuation that you would like on any awards or any printed materials. Then you'll go a step further and you'll verify that you agree to the awards program rules and guidelines, and you can find that document here. Again, it's on the website and it is linked here for you and in that checklist. Here you enter the project cost. You do not need dollar signs. If you click here, it'll let you know that you use numerals and commas only, and round to the nearest dollar. And cost, it gives you the exact definition of cost here. So read that carefully because markups, sweat equity, homeowner provided materials, all of those things need to be included in your project cost. And then also note that project cost does not include design fees. We found a few years ago that some members who were design build, their fees were automatically included, while other companies' fees were not. So we eliminated that. So all projects are being compared equally. And so it does not include design fees. Also, uh, your project can be entered in multiple categories as long as it meets the category requirements. So for example, if you have an entire house renovation, you can enter the entire house category and include the price for that entire house. Or you could enter just a kitchen or a bathroom, and you could break out the cost of that portion of the project for that entry. So you would again have to enter and create a separate presentation showcasing whatever portion of that entire house project you are entering. So if it is a kitchen, you would need a project presentation, a separate entry, and to pay the entry fees for the kitchen entry. This next section allows you to create a fun short phrase to describe your project. This is used sometimes. These short phrases help draw attention from publications, and it just is a great way to quickly identify your project. In the project that I'm borrowing from Leo Lance, he turned an outdated, what he called a hot tub time machine, into a spa oasis. We have seen things, for example, a small ranch turned into given a Frank Lloyd Wright facelift. So be creative here, and it may help get your project picked up by a publication. So once I've completed this section, I can go on to the next. And I'll do my company address and information. So it's the company address, the primary entry contact. This is the person who we would contact if we had questions about the entry. Sometimes the primary contact for a company or the owner is not that best person. My example would be Lane Homes and Remodeling. Each year, they have a person on their team who enters their projects. So I would reach out to Cooper and not Edward Lane. So in this case, Cooper's name would be entered here, as well as his email and phone number. In this case, I am the person, if you had questions about my entry, that you would contact. Now I'm going to save. And once I save here, if I wanted to, I could actually, I'm sorry, I'm going to save and close, because now I know I have another entry that I would like to enter. So I'm going to enter this same, I'd like to copy this entry. It could be a completely different project. It could be a completely different homeowner. And so I'm going to do a second entry. And here now you can see my original one and my copy. When I want to go in, I would go into this copy. It's going to take a second. Let's go back. Something happened. Oh, it's still working. I'm going to go into the copy. And I can then, all of my information is still in here, but now because it's a different entry, I can update this and choose whatever category I want for this entry. So this one is a residential landscape outdoor living. I'm going to remove the copy text here, and then I'm going to update the project cost, and I can move forward. And then all this other stuff is still there. All right, so I'm going to go back to my original entry and keep moving forward with that bath project. So now I have completed 2 tabs, and I'm ready to come over into the project detail section. In this section, you're asked to give a 100-word summary, 100-word or less, I'm sorry, summary of the project. This is used in our awards presentation script, and we provide this to our media outlets. The grand award winners and winners of our program may be featured in Richmond Magazine and Our Home Magazine. And so we give them this information to print in that publication so that they are not contacting winners prior to the awards gala and the announcement. So if there is anything that you would like printed, or that any summary that you could provide that would help summarize your project and help us better understand what transformation was made, any significant challenges, what made this project exceptional and award worthy. This is where you put that information. Please note, this project summary is only used for administrative purposes. It is not used or seen by the judges. So you can even identify your company or other participants who did something noteworthy. I would not identify the homeowner, however, because we do not identify our homeowners in our program. This project entry PDF presentation is the next item, and this is the only thing that the judges see. So everything about this presentation is important, that you do not identify the homeowner or your company or anyone participating on the project. So here, basically, you will create a PDF presentation in another platform. We use Canva, we've used PowerPoint, any design software that would allow you to create a presentation. You would create that presentation, save it as a PDF, and then you need to load it into some sort of cloud storage location. And this information appears here, such as Google Drive or Dropbox. When you save this and when you generate a share link for it, it is critical that that link is unrestricted, allowing anyone with the link to be able to access that presentation. And I'll give you an example. So if I come over to the cloud storage area where this is stored in Drive. And if I am coming up to Drive and I want to say I want to share and generate a link, I click the share button here. And here is where you can either restrict access or say anyone with the link can view the project and then copy that link. The same is true in Dropbox, and you would just want to make sure it's unrestricted, so our judges can access it without having to request permission and disclosing whose Dropbox or Drive file that is. Next, we come down to the required forms. As I mentioned before, the contractor homeowner affidavit and consent form is required. If you click here, it allows you to download the form. And once you download it, you can then upload it here. So what it would look like is you would see this here. I would select the file, and then I can see the contractor homeowner release form. I actually have a folder on my desktop with my entry, and all the documents that I need are right here, easily accessible for me as I'm preparing my entry on the platform. Same is true of the photo release. I would download it, clicking here, get it signed and executed, and then I can always come back into the portal and upload it between now and the entry deadline. So the wonderful thing about this portal, it does allow you to save in process. You close out of it, come back to it as many times as you need to. The next section is asking if this is a universal design category project. If it is, you click yes. Here is the checklist. If you click here, it opens it up. You can download it, complete the fields in this checklist, and then come back and upload your checklist here. If it is not, that upload section disappears and you can move forward. Same with the green project designation. You can access the spreadsheet here. If it is a green project, you would be able to upload it here. If it is not, that will disappear. Same with the team partners. If you have team partners that you wish to include, click yes. We've included a link to our pro member directory where you can access the directory. So if you're not sure if someone is a pro member, you can come in and you can see. I'm going to use, let's see, how about SS Paint? Let's see, I don't know if there's punctuation there. Forgive me, I chose a bad item selection there. Let's see, maybe I used Aloha for this project. There, I can confirm that they are a member. And before I move on, if you're not sure, you can reach out to a pro staff member and they can confirm whether someone is a pro member. You will have a team partner form that you need to complete and fill out and upload here. Once you give permission for someone to participate as a team partner, the pro staff and our committee and membership committee will reach out to those team partners to see if in fact they are interested in participating. They have a separate entry fee. They will be invoiced separately, but for each team partner you include on your project, you get a $25 pro credit. You can use that pro credit toward your gala tickets or entry fees if they commit prior to the deadline for paying your entry fees. So last year we had a couple companies who had enough team partners. Their table at the gala was complimentary because of that pro credit, those pro credits, excuse me. All right, and then this section here, did you use subcontractors, suppliers, or professionals who were not currently pro members? And if that's the case, this is a great opportunity for you to introduce them to pro and invite them to participate as a team partner on your entry. If you say yes, you have two options for providing their information. You could upload a document with their information on it, perhaps maybe something that you download from Builder Trend or Builder Tread or whatever your platform is that might have that information on your vendors, suppliers, and subs that participated in the project, or you could manually enter it here. Or if you do not have additional companies that help, you would just say no, and that field would disappear. The benefit of including team partners, first of all, but outside of that $25 discount that you get for each one, when your project wins an award, imagine having not only your company's social media and marketing, advertising that award, but also your team partners. So companies, larger companies like Ferguson and Ryko Kitchen and Bath or Vaymax, some of these other companies that are advertising on their social media platforms, you're all advertising the same award and sharing and multiplying the recognition that goes along with that. So it's a really great opportunity to show appreciation to those partners and to increase your marketing impact of the award. And then finally, the last tab of the entry platform is where you will upload your logo and project photos. Again, this is not seen by the judges, so whatever important photographs that you need in your presentation to clearly explain the transformation, you would also not only put them here, but you would make sure that they were included in your presentation. So here you can see I've already taken the time. Each section tells you exactly what you need to upload. In this first one, here's my company, made up company logo. And I've used the naming system over here, my company name and logo. And then here, the wow shot. This is your best after photo, the photo that you think best captures your project. And again, there is a naming system over here that you would use, the category short code. In this case, it's Bath 50 to 100K. The company name, in this case, it was Leo Lance, and wow, meaning wow shot. Your best horizontal photo with your company logo. We use this in the presentation slides, and that way we can see whose project it is as we're showcasing all these beautiful projects at our gala. And then a vertical photo. This is optional. However, we have found that magazines are more likely to pick up a project that has a great vertical photo for just for purposes of maybe a magazine cover or a full page editorial. And then we ask that you have your best before photo. If you do not have a before photo of your project, which is one of the things we recommend when you're getting ready to start a project to prepare for the awards program, we recommend going on site and taking lots of photographs from different various angles before, so that you might be able to do a side-by-side comparison or really showcase the before and the after at the same angle. And sometimes you don't know what's going to be the wow shot angle until after it's complete. So take those before photos from many angles. However, if you did not get a before shot of your project, you may ask the homeowners, they may have a photo of that project before the work was complete. And if it does have a person or people in the photo, you can cover them in Canva or another photo editing software so that or blur them out so their identity is not revealed. And then you have the option to include up to 10 additional photos besides the required number. And so when you toggle here and you tell it, I have 10 photos, it opens up 10 fields for you. So it will not let you pass this screen if you don't fill in each of the photo fields. So in this case, I have 4, and I have uploaded an additional, and the naming system is over here. I've uploaded an additional after photo. Another additional after photo from a different angle, really showcasing the beautiful tub. Another after photo that might be used in a publication or in our presentation of the closet and organizational systems in this bathroom. And so this is just a great way to showcase more photos that might encourage our publications and partners to do more with your project in their publication. And then once I've gotten here, I am ready to come and hit this submit entry. Even after I hit submit, I can come back into the entry and tweak things and make edits if I needed to. The entry will be reviewed by our awards committee and some volunteers just to make sure that we look to make sure that the project is in the correct category, that it actually, the project cost matches the price point of the category, that there is nothing in that presentation that identifies the company or the homeowner, including the file name. So there's a lot that happens. So once you submit your entry, if there was something missing, it would take you back to whatever tab the missing item was on. But I submitted mine and I got this confirmation that my entry is submitted. When I go to my email, I will see an email letting me know next steps and confirming again that it was submitted. So once it is submitted and reviewed, the pro staff will generate an invoice that will be available to you in your pro member portal online, and it will be emailed to the billing representative on file as your billing contact. And then that invoice will let you access either a link to pay by credit card or information on how to pay by check. All invoicing and payments need to be taken care of before judging. If there's an exception to that, the pro staff will let you know if there's if your project isn't reviewed in time for and it needs to get on to judging, they may make an exception for that, of course. All right. Well, that was a lot of information. But what I hope is that it gave you a better understanding of the platform and what is needed to complete a entry. And again, I recommend using Marcia's checklist that she created to help walk you through all of those steps and visiting the website for all of the details. And we look forward to another successful award entry season. Thank you so much.